Hey guys, Ben here. Welcome back to another live stream. Today we are live with a episode 106 of the DCTV show, and of course, this is the same as every other live stream. I tried to get some guests in tonight, but it was a bit too late. But next week we will have a guest. I promise you guys. I know I've said that for the last 2 weeks, but I've actually got a very special guest lined up who is actually like a proper OG of our kind of Arrowverse community. So I think it's going to be an interesting conversation. Next week, I will be away, so I don't know how frequent my uploading is going to be, but I'm going to do my best. But we will be live next week, Thursday, at around this same time. It'll probably be a bit earlier, only because I'm going to be in a time zone that's 2 hours ahead of me. So it will be like, if I started now, it would be like 12, already past midnight. So we will start earlier. So just to let you guys know, but it will be next Thursday. We go live again. But for now, let's go ahead and get into this live stream. I see Jamie is here, Nathan's here. Everyone who is joining, please be sure to say hi in the chat. Jamie has been a member of the channel for over 30 months. Congrats, Jamie, and thank you so much for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Nathan is here too. He says, here we go. Well, I've definitely got some interesting topics to talk about today, and I think some of you guys are going to be very interested. So I'm going to explain what we're going to do, and as always, if you want to support the channel and send in super chats and be answered throughout the live stream, please be sure to do that by clicking the $ next underneath the chat, and you can send in super chats. That way, obviously, you're supporting the channel, but at the same time, you'll be able to send in theories, any questions you have. Can be to do the Arrowverse, DCEU, anything that you really want to ask about. I'll be sure to answer it, as long as it's not a kind of crazy kind of Gary question, but you know what it is. But yeah, next member stream, we just need to all organize it. Like, obviously we try and, we all need to, I don't want to just have like you and Nathan and then no one else. Like, we got to try and get everyone together. And like I said, I'm going to be away next week. So I would say let's aim for after I'm back. So I come back on the 24th. So let's aim for end of October. We can do a birthday members live stream for me because my birthday is on Halloween. So October 31st. So I would say let's aim for end of October for next monthly, for the next live stream for the members. Sorry, guys. So in today's live stream, we're going to be talking about the DC drama that's been going on. There was a big article released by Variety. We got to break that down, talk about it. And then also we've got in that article some news about The Flash and Justice League being potentially recast. That is really interesting and really big. I've actually got a video coming out on that tomorrow. So that's, something that we definitely have to get into. But also the CW is adding new shows to the network. So we've got to discuss that. And of course, I'll talk about some of these topics in upcoming videos, like I said, because I think they're pretty big news topics. And, we've actually got some stuff to talk about tonight, which is, kind of unusual at the moment, just because like there's pretty much nothing too much going on. So yeah, we've got some interesting topics to break down is what I'm trying to get at. So yeah. Welcome to everyone that is here in the live stream, and as usual, send in super chats from now on, and I'll be sure to answer you guys, of course. So let's go ahead and get into this. Okay, so the DC drama, I'm going to pop this up on the screen because it's an article. Obviously, I think some of you guys have probably seen it already, but we're going to break it down and talk about it all together. Obviously, some of it is like, just a bit bad because it is drama at the end of the day, but this is from Variety. Hi Tina, welcome. Thank you. No problem for doing the live stream. It's about Aquaman 2 and it's been flooded with drama, as the article title says. Jason Momoa allegedly drunk on set. Obviously that's not good. Amber Heard scenes cut, and Elon Musk letter to WB and more. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about here. So basically how it starts the article, it's all to do with the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, where people recently have actually paid for Amber Heard's therapists to get the notes um, actually released to the public. And so basically, it's all been kind of set up so that Amber Heard obviously gets like kind of more attention, I guess, like because the people that don't like her and don't believe her basically, are adamantly against them. And I don't think they're going to ever give up being against her. So, this is just another step in the puzzle of what's been going on there. I feel, kind of bad for her because, this is like personal notes and everything. But yeah, they were paid. So, they, I think, legally have an obligation to reveal what was on the legal pad, as it says here. So they describe a hostile Aquaman set where an allegedly intoxicated, drunk Jason Momoa dressed like Johnny Depp. I think he always dresses kind of like him. Like they give me similar vibes. But and pushed to have Heard booted from the role of Mera in the Aquaman sequel. So Aquaman 2 is coming out in December. It's a big deal because this should be the final DCEU film. They've been doing reshoots as of recently, and so that's just what's been going on with Aquaman. And now you got all this kind of information coming out that, again, don't take it like all as absolute fact, because this could be, like it said, this is just coming from a few certain sources. So the notes, and obviously these are legit notes, say Jason said he wanted me fired, and it said Jason drunk, late on set, dressing like Johnny, has all the rings too. So yeah, that's bad for Jason and it's not a good look. So yeah, so a DC rep, well, a spokesperson came out saying that Jason Momoa conducted himself in a professional manner at all times on the set of Aquaman Lost Kingdom. Uh, Others echoed that sentiment. Jason works his ass off, likes to have a beer once in a while, like everyone, but doesn't show up drunk on set, says an insider. So again, you have to take that with a grain of salt because they could have personal links to him, and there would be a reason for trying to get good publicity out of this. And so he isn't dressing like Johnny Depp. He has always dressed in that bohemian style. That's what I said. Like I would compare their styles together if you look at it. So I don't think it's like that crazy to think maybe accidentally he dressed up one day and he just looked kind of similar. But yeah, obviously I'm not trying to protect Jason or be on his side. I'm not on his side. I would naturally be on Amber Heard's side just because that's kind of where I sat with the trial, I guess. But that's not to say that none of this happened. Like I do believe Aquaman 2 probably had a lot of these problems that we're talking about here because I kind of believe these sources. And so another source close to the actress says her lawyers fought the release of the therapy notes, which had been subpoenaed. So Momoa wasn't the only Aquaman principal to land in the crosshairs. The therapy session also painted a picture of Heard feeling unsupported by the film's director, James Wan, who has traditionally been loved by the people that worked with him. So this is interesting. So apparently she was treated like a pariah because of her legal battle with Johnny Depp. And so she says in the notes, he raised his voice at me. I can't even post about Aquaman, of course. She can't post about Aquaman because of the tricky situation. Just like I know it's completely different, but like Ezra couldn't post about the Flash or say anything for a long time until like after the Flash because they just weren't allowed. So that kind of makes sense. But apparently made it look like it was my fault. And I said I'm sorry. So nobody would take selfies with me on set given blackout, which makes sense again. And they say James is known for treating his members of the cast and crew with the utmost respect and fostering a positive, collaborative environment on set. And the Aquaman films were no exception. So I think what I get out of all of this is I think James Gunn is going to be quite happy to be gone and be rid of all of the actors that were previously part of this era, because a lot of them are problematic. Look at Ezra, look at Amber, look at Jason. Like, I don't know why you would go forward with any of them. If I'm being honest, if like you're thinking business wise, why not start with a clean slate? I'm not being on the side of anyone. I'm not saying this person is to be fired, this person should come back. You know, I don't care at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I just hope everyone's treated fine, and you know, it is what it is. But I would like the DCU to be a clean slate, in my personal opinion. I don't know if you guys in the chat agree with me. Let me know. We'll continue with this in a second, but we do have a super chat from Atlantic Ocean. Sends in a £4.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Atlantic. I appreciate the super chat. Atlantic says, do you think Sasha will ever come back as Supergirl? So where I stand on this is, so we've talked about DCU many times and how James Gunn is being selective about who he's continuing with. So he's keeping the Suicide Squad actors and the cast and the characters, I mean, and he's also keeping the Peacemaker characters, which is linked to Suicide Squad, and they're the projects that he's worked on. But I also think he should keep Sasha as Supergirl, because we have Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow coming out, and I think The Flash did actually a good job of introducing her, and I would like to see her as Supergirl in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow when that comes out. So if he's been selective, why not be selective and choose a good Supergirl who already has proven herself and deserves more time? That's my personal opinion. Thank you for the super chat, Atlantic. If you have any other questions, of course, I'll be sure to answer them. Yeah, thanks for the super chat. And for those of you guys in the chat or just joining, super chat's the best way to answer. Just obviously, I'll go back to talking about the DC drama with Aquaman in a second, but let's go ahead and answer the next super chat. So Tina sends in a $1.99 super chat. She says, any good DC films on the way? Well, Aquaman's the next one. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I really like the first Aquaman, but yeah, this second one not been like so well received as far as we know from test screenings. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe I'll like it. But I'm looking forward to Superman Legacy, of course. What else do we have coming out in 2024? I can't think of much off the top of my head. Obviously, looking forward to the first DCU projects. Like, yeah, of course, we all are. So I'm excited for all of that. But yeah, sorry I can't give you a proper answer, Tina, but I guess I gotta check the DC slate. So DC films release dates. Let's have a look. Oh, I'm really looking forward to Joker, of course. That is supposed to come out next year. That's currently the only DC project coming out in 2024. You would suppose Superman Lois Season 4 would come out. Obviously, that's TV. But Joker would be the film I'm looking forward to the most, coming out apparently October 4th, 2024. Looking forward to that a lot because I love Joker. Okay, let's go ahead and get back to this article. So, so Amber Heard was nearly fired. Sources have told Variety, again, they don't disclose what those sources are and if they're actually reliable, but yeah, she was nearly fired. So following Aquaman's release in 2018, the studio and One decided to drop the actress from the sequel due to a lack of chemistry with Momoa, and sent a letter to her attorney informing him of its decision. So those sources underscore that the move to bounce Heard was unrelated to Depp and took place before he filed the suit against the actress in 2019. So likewise, Momoa was not involved in the decision making. So it was all the filmmakers and the producers' decision to let her go. But another source pushed back on the lack of chemistry narrative, noting that Heard did have a chemistry test with Momoa before landing the role of Mera, and beat out two other actresses who did a similar chemistry test. So ultimately, the studio never pulled the trigger on firing her because of her former boyfriend, Elon Musk. Wow, I did not know that. Had one of his litigators send a scorched earth letter to Warner Bros., threatening to burn the house down if the actress wasn't brought back in for the sequel. Jesus. So Elon Musk is like heavily involved in this, keeping Amber Heard for Aquaman 2. Wow. That is crazy. I did not expect that. So Warner Bros. Caved and moved forward with Heard but obviously Musk doesn't want to talk about it. So the drama is being rehashed at a time when DC is obviously trying to go in a new direction, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is coming out December 20th of this year. So followed by this will be the first entry into the DCU 4 months later, which should be, I believe, Creature Commandos, which is an animated project. But still, the Aquaman sequel held promise, and it's probably going to make some money. We'll have to wait and see. Basically, this all just talks about like money and how, there was only the need for 1 week of reshoots, and everything accordingly went fine. It was under budget, on time, and only needed a week of reshoots according to a different on-set source. So there is different accounts, and we don't know the ins and outs of this whole situation, but clearly there's a lot of drama, and nothing has turned out really for the best as far as we know right now. So yeah, that's kind of the update on DC and the kind of drama that I mentioned to you guys. So yeah, very interesting. But let's move on to the next main topic, and it actually is highlighted here. So this is all to do with the Flash and Justice League being potentially recast in the DCU. So this has definitely piqued my interest the most. This is tomorrow's video. I break it down in full, but let's go over it here for you guys who are joining me live, just because, why not? Let's just do this live. But for now, I want to remind you guys, you can send in super chats. Obviously, we'll be sure to answer you on the stream. And, that's the best way to get involved. And yeah, thanks to everyone that has sent in super chat so far, basically. So yeah, this is our second topic. So like the Flash, Aquaman, I never know why they don't put the full name, but like Flash, you should say like the Flash, because that's the title of the film. But Aquaman can't shake its lame duck trappings, with the DC universe getting overhauled by the new leadership under new leadership. So in fact, this is the important bit. None of the stars cast by Zack Snyder for 2016's Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and 2017's Justice League, including Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Ezra Miller, and Jason Momoa, will reprise their roles in the new DC universe in character. Full stop. It doesn't say according to sources. It's saying this is fact. Full stop. Period, as Americans say. So the Justice League is being completely recast. You're not going to see Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Ezra Miller, and Jason Momoa. Like, I'm not surprised about Ben Affleck, right? He had his Flash appearance. Not surprised about Henry Cavill, because they've been pretty evident they want to go with this new Superman played by David Corenswet, who you will see in Superman Legacy. I am surprised by Ezra Miller, because they were supposed to show up again in The Flash, but clearly, even though James Gunn came out saying, I love The Flash, I love what Ezra has done with the character, according to Variety, Ezra is done as The Flash. This is the best news that I've heard in a long time. And I'm sure you guys who are Flash fans are happy with this, because this opens the opportunity, opens the door for a new Flash, right? A new actor, or as James Gunn has previously said recently, he would be open. Well, he's going to be taking things from past DC projects, including films, television, and animation. And clearly, the DCU, he's not just talking about the DCEU here, because DCEU doesn't have any animation that's canon. So it's other animations, so from like the Tomorrowverse, or, on TV from the Arrowverse. I know Peacemaker was the DCEU show, but that's the only show. So what are they going to take? Well, they could take actors, and they could take characters that James Gunn likes himself. So what happens if he's been like, okay, I've seen the release of The Flash, right? I like the film, but is it worth it to get such a problematic actor back like Ezra? Or is it better to just go, oh, hi, Grant Gustin. Oh, yeah, you're great as the Flash. Like, you played the Flash for, 9 years. Fancy coming back for a film. Obviously, this film would be like less than a year shoot. It would be like, I don't know, 6-7 months or something. And maybe Grant's like, oh, hey, James Gunn, I would love to do a film. Yes, I know, like, I kind of want to take a break from the Flash, but if you're offering me a good salary, you're offering me a good project. I like the screenplay. Grant has said he will come back to the Flash if he likes anything that is presented to him. So a good screenplay, a good script. I could see Grant coming back because I think, and I have a feeling, James Gunn's probably a fan of him. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think they're going to go the recasting route, or are they going to look back into the past and grab someone like Grant and bring him back, maybe to do a Flash film, or to appear as the Flash in new projects in the DCU? I mean, we don't know what James Gunn has planned beyond the films that he's announced, and he hasn't even obviously announced all the characters that will appear in those projects. So yeah, the doors are open, and this is kind of crazy. I wasn't expecting this, if I'm being honest. So yeah, it's looking like these guys aren't coming back. So it goes on to say Momoa may return, just not as Aquaman. Sources say the actor has engaged in talks to play Lobo. We talked about that before. Um, so either in the 2025 Superman Legacy film, he could show up, or in a standalone film. So that's the only thing. And then they go on to talk about how, all the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker actors and characters are going to be kind of continuing on. Is not very confusing. I don't know why it says in a confusing twist. Like, it's not, it's not very confusing. But we have, I see Gary has arrived. Nathan is right. Gary's here. Welcome to the live stream, Gary. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate the super sticker. Let's go check it out. Oh, it's a cat. Yes, Gary has been tuning in every week, so he knows the cat is here. She's currently sleeping behind me under my chair, so can't bring her up. I'm not going to wake her up yet. So thanks to the super sticker, Gary. Gary sends in another super chat, $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Gary. Sorry, guys. I had a hiccup then. So Gary says, how are you? You are. So I'm good, Gary. How are you, Gary? Thanks for joining. Thanks for supporting the channel, as always. Gary, I want to get your opinion on this. So what we're talking about here is that Variety is saying none of the Justice League characters and actors from the DCEU will reprise their roles in the DC universe. Do you think that's good? Do you think that we have a chance to see Arrowverse actors return? So, like, we've talked about Grant Gustin showing up as the Flash. Do we think Melissa's Supergirl could show up? Like, is that a possibility? What are you thinking right now? I would be very interested to hear your take on it, Gary. But yeah, that's kind of the main topic here. And so, obviously, if you guys think, if they go with the Flash in the DCU, like, are they gonna go, recasting route, or are they gonna, bring Grant in? So Nathan points out an interesting thing. I think they should definitely go with a new Flash. So go with Wally West Flash. So I think we talked about this before, Nathan, but I completely agree that if they're doing the Flash again, I say don't do Barry Allen, because you have so many comparisons. You have the Ezra comparison, you have the Grant Gustin comparison. So why not go with Wally West? Like a kind of Keenan Lonsdale style of Wally West. I mean, they could even just have Keenan Lonsdale come in. Like, if he likes them, why not? But I would say more likely than not, they're going to recast the Flash. And I think, it could potentially be Wally West. Well, I would personally go with Wally West. So thanks for the super chat, Gary. I really appreciate it. Let's continue to our next topic. And so I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. Okay, let's bring up the next screen. But we have another super chat from Gary in the meantime while I sort that out. So what I hope is Grant Gustin is in it, of course. Like, I think all of us who are watching the live stream can agree we want Grant Gustin to show up in the DCU in some form, whether he is the main Flash or it's just, in a kind of mentor role for whoever the Flash is. Like, I think if I'm James Gunn, like, I would I don't know, it's just such a waste of an opportunity. Like, obviously James didn't really have full control of the Flash film, but like they didn't even include Grant Gustin. Such a waste of an opportunity. So why not, bring him in properly, and with them potentially recasting Ezra and recasting the whole Justice League, why not make actually the Flash like a proper fan favorite, because everyone likes Grant. Like no matter if you watch the TV or not, he's always been a huge fan favorite. So thanks for the third super chat, Gary. I really appreciate it. If any of you guys have any more super chats, please be sure to send them in now. Sorry, don't know why I lost my words there. We have one final topic to talk about in today's live stream, and that is that the CW is adding brand new shows to its schedule, which is quite a surprise because they're not random shows, they're actual new shows, and they are going to be produced by the CW itself. So this is the first one. So we have the CW has ordered a procedural drama series Wildcard starring Vanessa Morgan, who you guys will know from Riverdale, and Giacomo Giannotti. Sorry if I pronounce that wrong, but he's from Grey's Anatomy. So those are two CW alums that are coming back with a new show. So clearly, is interesting. It's an interesting twist here. I think by this and by the announcement of this other show, which is called Sight Unseen, starring Agam Darshi, Dolly Lewis, and Daniel Giles or Gilles, I'm not sure. I believe Sanctuary is a CW show. Let me see if it's CW show. Okay, it's not a CW show. But anyway, the original. So that's another CW actor, and then this has two main CW actors. So I think, like it's interesting. It's an interesting twist because we thought, okay, Nexstar is done with what the CW has previously done. They've said they are interested in procedural drama series. If we want to look up the, official term for what procedural is, let's get this up so I can just explain to you guys properly. So a procedural or a procedural drama is a cross-genre type of film or television program which places emphasis on technical detail. A documentary film, no, well, that's not it. So anyway, it's a cross-genre type of film, so it's pretty much like a drama TV show more so than like any specific genre. So they're both procedural dramas, so they're just normal drama shows, and they're going to be starring CW alums, so like actors that have worked on the CW before. So clearly they understand that like they kind of need a few of these shows, and they picked up two shows, and I'm honestly surprised because they're both fiction. They are new shows. They haven't been made yet. They haven't been bought from another network in like Canada or England or anything like that, because most of the stuff that they picked up has already been shown around the world. So this is different, and I don't know. I'm weirdly excited about that. Like I know I've said previously, like I don't want this regime at the CW to do well. Like I don't want them to do well. I don't think these shows are going to do amazing, but obviously it's going to be cheaper to make these shows than some of the shows that they cancelled. So yeah, I wonder, like by ordering these two shows, it says, okay, like we're not giving up on the CW. We're not giving up on what it used to be, but we're injecting our own self into this by, okay, we're going to go procedural drama. We're not going to go genre show or anything like that. So we're going to keep it basic. We're going to keep it simple. But at the same time, we're going to feed back and try and get some of our fans back who like these actors. So people will tune in to see Vanessa Morgan because people like Vanessa Morgan. People will tune in to see Daniel Giles, or however you say his name, because they like him. So yeah, that is the update with the CW. We'll go back to it in just a second, but we got two super chats from Gary. I can't say that on stream, Gary, but yeah, Chris is the lucky guy. That's what we'll say. Thank you for the support, Gary. I really appreciate it. Hope you understand. Cater is here. Welcome to the live stream. Gary sends in another super chat. He says, "What do you think Barry's doing right now off screen? He's probably saving Central City, helping out the good people and being a superhero. That's definitely what he's doing, Gary. Don't know what you're guessing at, but yeah." Thank you for the super chat, Gary. I really appreciate all the support and all the super chats. But yeah, keep sending in your final super chats, guys, as we head towards the end of the stream. Again, it's just me today, so obviously I would like to get a proper second opinion. But as I said, we're gonna have a special guest next week. Hopefully, the stream will be longer. Just at the moment, we're just going for like kind of 40-minute streams. I think that's reasonable, and I hope that's okay with you guys. Like, I don't, as I said last week, I don't want to overstretch everything. Um, I know, Nathan, but I don't want to overstretch everything and waste all your time. So I want to, hit our topics, have a Q&A with you guys in the chat. So send in any final super chat questions or any questions you want to send in. Sorry, I just lost my voice then. Any questions in the chat, and I'll be sure to answer them. Like Gary's just sent in a question. So yeah, it's going to be like 10 more minutes, and we're good for today. But obviously, as I said before, we got a very interesting video coming out tomorrow night about 9 p.m. UK time. Okay, Gary says, what would you do if I said Arrow Season 4 was my favorite season? Gary, I remember last week you said Arrow Season 4 is your least favorite season. What would I do, though, if you said it? I would cancel you, Gary. You would get cancelled live on stream. I know, Gary. I know you said it was your least favorite, and I appreciated that last week. So don't be messing with me, Gary. I'm going to be mad at you soon. So watch it. Watch it. He says, would you be mad at me? Yes, I would be, Gary. Gary sends in another super sticker. It's a shock face. That's pretty good. Thanks for the super chat, Gary. I appreciate it. Okay, so yeah, if you guys have any other questions, please be sure to keep sending them in via the live chat, and I'll keep answering them. But yeah, so in terms of this CW stuff that's going on, yeah, like even look, that's the response. Yeah, I agree. I like this account, but that's pretty much what was said in this TV Line article. Let's go ahead and go in. So they even put exclamation marks when it says, scripted, because everything's been bought, everything has not been new, and they aren't scripted. So yeah, this is kind of a big deal that they've got Riverdale stars, original stars coming back, and yeah, I don't know if they've released some sort of statement. They've released synopsises for the different shows here. You guys can go ahead and read it. Oh, they've actually said this. So Wildcards and Sight Unseen are two unique, binge-worthy shows that reflect the CW's commitment to compelling top-tier storytelling that will appeal to our loyal fans and attract a wide range of new viewers. So there you go. That is why they've cast them, because they want their loyal fans back, right? They want the Riverdale fans. They want the originals fans. They want the CW kind of viewership to come back, because they know, we're not coming back unless there's something really interesting. So with it being procedural, that's where they try and get in the new viewers, of course. So they say they say we are thrilled to bring these two dynamic series to life and highlight just how expansive the CW brand can be. Well, I'm not sure if it's so expansive by doing a procedural drama and getting, the same actors back that traditionally have been in your shows. Like, I don't think it's revolutionary, but obviously it is a twist in the whole CW Next Star saga. Obviously, we've documented it on my channel. I'll be sure to, I guess, comment on this in the next few days if I decide to do a video on it. But yeah, an interesting turn of events. We shall say that. Carmelo is here in the chat and says, I miss the Flash. Yeah, me too. Like, I really miss the Flash, and that's kind of why I'm hoping. Okay, with Ezra being supposedly getting recast in the DCU, like, is there a chance we get Grant back? Like, I just miss the show a lot, and I think I'll miss it less when Superman and Lois comes back. But for now, we have no shows, so it's like, okay, what's the most recent show? Well, Superman, Lois, and the Flash is gone, and the Flash has been around for such a long time that it just kind of feels weird that it's not on anymore, but it is what it is. I hope we get to see some of them come back. I hope if the CW realizes, okay, we need some of our loyal fans back, why not go for one more Arrowverse show? Why not go for the lowest budget Arrowverse show that you can think of? I don't know what that would be, but go for some sort of Arrowverse detective drama. That's what I would go for. So like someone like The Question would be very interesting. But yeah, Gary sends in another super sticker. Oh, that's the same super sticker. Sorry, I clicked on that again. Anyway, thanks, Gary. Nathan says, I'll renew my membership tonight, bud, and next stream I'll give some memberships. Oh, that would be very nice for the rest of you guys who aren't members. So please be sure to rejoin next Thursday night. Like I said, I'm going to be away, but I'm going to still be live streaming. And I'm going to have a special guest. So please be sure to come back. I will update you guys about the time on the actual day. But Thursday night, around a couple of hours earlier than now, I'll be sure to be live streaming. And so come tune in and you can be a member of the channel. And along with that, because that is next week, and if Nathan does that, obviously those of you guys who become a member of the channel through those gifted memberships, you guys can join in on the next members live stream, which, as we said at the start of the stream, will be like around the end of October. So, tune in next week if you don't want to miss it. Then if I'm allowed to join, I'll try and gift 10 people. Of course you're allowed to join. Well, that would be insane if 10 people got it. But imagine like we had a huge members live stream. Gary, we need to get Gary to be a member, and we need Gary to come on the stream. That would be insane. The biggest crossover event of all time. But yeah, thank you so much for all the support, guys. Thanks for watching the live stream. Thanks for watching my videos. If you missed any recent videos, go check out the channel. Obviously, we've got a lot of content over there. As I said, we got a new Flash video coming out tomorrow that you guys are not going to want to miss out on. So yeah, that pretty much does it for this live stream, guys. Thanks once again. I really appreciate all of you guys. And so for now, I'll catch you guys later. See you all in a bit. See you next week. Tune in next Thursday. So thanks, guys. See you guys later. Bye-bye.